I'm your host Arwin, and before I start the show, please don't forget to share it on any platform you deem fit, and if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through the gift card, PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go. Links are on the description box below, or send me super chat over at the Rumble live chat when the show is live, or subscribe to my channel. Support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated. I can really use it. Right. So, weather today, it's kind of nice. It's mixed cloudy with some blue sky and some nice sun coming through. It's just a little bit of wind, but nothing substantial. Oh, look at that. And yeah, some of these clouds probably might be hail coming out of them. The way they're looking all fluffy and thick. But yeah, there's not been any hail here yet. But I mean, maybe one of those clouds will come flying over and deposit a giant amount of hail that will probably melt away very quickly. But we'll see. But yeah, no trails. There's no sign of trails, which is nice. Always happy to see there are no trails in the sky. It doesn't happen anymore every day, so that is a relief. Just sometimes they do it like 1 or 3 days or something, and then usually it kind of stops again. Last time they did that too, like that is also the day that I got that headache this weekend. Right, but yeah, I'm out of that. I'm pretty much feel very relaxed and recovered, and so yeah, let's see what we're gonna talk about today. Yeah. Right, but anyway, let's first... It is Monday, the 30th of March, 2026. Temperature is 8 degrees Celsius with 71% humidity, 24 kilometers an hour wind, and 35% precipitation. Only 8 degrees. Doesn't feel so cold. I don't know what that is. Maybe I don't feel as cold. I don't know. So sometimes it's like I don't have a lot of blood flow, and then my hands especially and my feet just feel very cold because of that, and then everything just seems colder. But yeah, I mean, it's technically pretty much the same temperature it was yesterday, but yesterday felt colder. Alright. So yeah, I hope everybody's had a great weekend. Mine was okay. Yeah, it looks like with the Iran situation, it's more of the same. And yeah, Trump is now wanting to put boots on the ground. Right, that's been talked about for a while, and I mean, it seems to be just that he's gonna follow through on it, but if he does, it's gonna be a giant disaster. So it all seems kind of pointless. And a lot of the US people, like including Alex Jones and all that, they're all very frustrated with this because they can feel the trouble coming. Like, this is gonna end really, really bad. And yeah, put the US in a lot of trouble. So if they lose like a massive amount of their troops, that's gonna really like just hurt their overall defensive capabilities, and I suspect that as a result of that, other parties might make a move like against the US because of their heavy losses. So I don't know if they would do that right away, but they would probably start to roll out plans to do so, build up to it. And so, yeah, I mean, everybody in the US that actually cares about the nation should be really worried about this entire endeavor, and been trying to say, like, I would really advise for people in the US on the inside to stop him, take him down. Not as in like kill him or anything, but like, I don't know how the hell you would do it. A coup, a citizen's arrest? I'm not sure, but I mean, it's got to be stopped. Like, these operations with Iran, they need to discontinue for the survival of the US. And I mean, I'm basically ringing the alarm bell. Like, this is really critical. This could be, if nothing is done to change the course, this could be an absolute disaster for the US. And I think it will. Because it will just set things in motion that are not gonna look good for the US. And yeah, I'd rather that not happen. And of course, I just want all this insane war with Iran to discontinue. This is not good for anybody. And yeah, doubling down on taking it over with ground troops, it's just, it won't work. It really, really won't work. Never, and they all know it. But I just don't understand how Trump is just still continuing, and people are just letting him do that. Like that is just not good. Alright, so that's my prognosis for the Iran situation. Yeah, and also in the meantime, Israel is just being super obnoxious. Stopping a priest from performing, like, what is it? Yeah, performing Palm Sunday, like, in Jerusalem. Like, why? Why are they meddling with that? Why is Israel doing that? It seems like at every opportunity they get, they just use every opportunity to be more and more unpopular by doing these kinds of things. It's insane. Why? Like, what is even the reason for doing it? There's just no point to it, to doing that. Right? In a time like this, Israel basically, well, they could really use some friends out there. And by doing these kinds of things, they basically ensure that they won't be having any friends left to help them after this is all over. It's crazy. It's just, it's stupid. It's stupid to do that. Right. They seem to just be operating like they just don't give a shit. It's just crazy that they do that. Yeah, in the meantime, in Australia and New Zealand, they're doing climate lockdowns now because of the oil situation. And of course, it's just being noted that, like, the entire apparatus, the whole New World Order, the globalist New World Order, and all their crazy micromanagement ideas and all that, and the 15-minute cities and all that, and digital currency, they're just trying to push that through now using the oil crowds. But everybody's aware that that's what they're doing, and I mean, I think they're probably not going to get away with it this time either. These people that can actually do something about it, they're paying attention, and that's very relieving. So it looks also, just looking through like a report, it's looking also like Iran is really striking high cost targets. So they took out like those radars, which were like insanely expensive. That happened a while ago, and they're taking out very expensive planes that were just parked at a base in Saudi Arabia. The AWACS jet. So they're like, well, effectively with very simple methods are like costing the US a ton of money of things that are basically irreplaceable. Those things can't just be replaced on a whim. Costing the US a lot of money. They are fighting their war smart. But I mean, everybody knew that was gonna happen. Everybody in the Pentagon, they all knew it. They all said, like, don't do it, don't. And yeah, he did it anyway. And now everybody's got to deal with the mess. But I mean, I still don't see why there isn't just a way to just stop, just move out. Like, everybody would actually like respect Trump more if he pulled out. Like, yeah, it's not good for its image. Yeah, it's definitely not good for his damn ego. But I mean, he could spare the lives of a lot of soldiers and save a lot on equipment cost this way, right? And try to make up for basically breaking his promise of no more wars if he just pulls out, and if he would even recognize that it was a mistake. And dude, he could literally blame Israel for this. Like, they goaded him into it. It's very obvious. It's already out. All he has to do is just step away. Basically, the way that Trump could fix everything is by turning on Israel. That's what it is. But he just really doesn't want to do that. Because he's set his will and his heart on it for a very foolish reason. But yeah, if he wants to not run down in a ditch and just ruin absolutely everything, including his own future, he should break off with that. Give them the blame. And I mean, it doesn't mean like, oh, also destroy Israel or even let it be destroyed, but at least like get pushy with its government. Like, make that stop, right? I mean, BB Files came out, right? Probably a lot of people have seen that now. Tucker Carlson's latest documentary. There's a lot of good reasons to basically take Netanyahu out of power and like basically force reform, regime change, if you will, on Israel. And then, yeah. And only then could there potentially again be peace in the Middle East. Because this cabinet is like at the heart of the entire situation. Like, they are the cause. They really are. And every time things tend to like potentially calm down again, they immediately start doing shit again. They just keep poking and they keep pushing it. Pushing the agitation, pushing the work, pushing the global financial disaster. And only through Israeli regime change can it be made to stop. And really, the US is the only one in a position to actually do it. since they are so intertwined with Israel, and they stop and force a reform and basically improve the image of themselves and of Israel, and the world would be very relieved if that would finally happen. If basically it's the Greater Israel Plan is stopped. Because the Greater Israel Plan like includes a lot of genocide, and it's like just insane. It's not of this time anymore. I mean, it's like medieval plans. Plans of conquest. It's just not of this time anymore. It's insane to do that now. And so, yeah, that is my solution. I mean, I've said that, what is it now, a year ago? Like when the first strike became a thing last year, like, oh, he's been drawn into Iran, and everybody's like, oh God, just do whatever and then get the hell out and don't go back. Just do not start a war. Do not let that happen. And I was like, yeah. And if they force it, Israeli regime change, like that'll make it stop. And it's necessary. The world's calling for it. So, right? I mean, guys, they are also at the center of the frickin' migration crisis. So every time some country gets destroyed, like Syria most recently, the West got flooded with, well, understandable refugees, but also a lot of really weirdo people that were actually just using that to sneak in. But I mean, yeah, a lot of refugees too, and like, it fuels the migration system that the globalists are using to ruin the West. Like, Israel is at the center of that with its actions. Like, Israel is using Europe and the US arguably as a dumping ground for these people. They blow shit up, they conquer it, they do horrifying things. The people flee. Where are they fleeing to? To Europe, to the United States, to the West. And Israel's just like, yeah, piss off, go over there. Not our problem anymore. So they're also at the heart of that. That's why Israeli regime change would literally turn like everything around. It's necessary. You want to stop the frickin' deep state actions and like how they do things, and having all these opportunities to try out their new control mechanism, their neo-feudalism, then do Israel regime change. That will take the wind out of the deep state sails. It will. Whether they are on the same side is not even relevant. Because they might arguably not be exactly on the same side, but they are in a position with each other where the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Right? When Israel does their shit, well, that gives the deep state a lot of opportunity to roll out their neo-feudalism. So they're fine with that. They're laughing it up. So yeah, there you go. Israel regime change. I mean, and that doesn't mean, blow it all up and, shame them. No, it's just make it stop. There's tons of Israelis that are really sick of it too. They're like, what the fuck is this? Like, their entire place is getting blown up. Like, they don't have any moment's rest anymore. Like, they're just not having lives anymore. It's like, yeah, that's freaking war. That's what you get. But they basically didn't really sign up for this, or they did, but didn't realize how bad it would get. So it's just better for everybody if there is an Israel regime change, and I mean the US should do it. to maintain honor and to do it as clean as possible. Right? I mean, if another nation does it, that makes the US look even worse. And Israel's pushing Russia around too. And Russia might just not be as restrained. And that would, yeah, can you imagine that Russia would actually force Israel to do regime change? That would look so bad on the US, so shameful on them. And if they then, and what are you going to do? Then just go at it with Russia again? Like, just stop. Just, you fix your mess and save some face. Damage control. Right? That's what Jesus Christ is all about. Right? Because, I mean, everybody that thinks like, oh, if we just say it how it is and tell Trump, you have to do this, you have to stop. Like, he's not going to stop it. He's going all the way in the other direction. All the way. I guarantee you Trump is not going to stop it. Like, if he could have, he would have already done that. But for some damn reason, he's locked in to do all this. Like, no matter the cost, which is insane. But there's no signs that he is even considering stopping it. Hey, Viscosity, good to see you. Did you say a lot of Israelis oppose their government's actions? Yeah! Hell yeah, Viscosity. And I mean, not all of them, but enough that they're like, screw it, they're even like protesting it and all that. Because they're just sick of it. They're sick of endless wars. I mean, there's no profit to be gained in just owning more, like, and everything that they own, it's getting blown up, right? I mean, yeah, sure, there's war hawks, people invested in the military industrial complexes and all that, and the banking schemes they are making money, but that's not literally that's literally not everybody. That's still just basically a handful of people. Most of the Israelis, they're just regular people. Right? And they're sick of this. Because it just makes them look so bad. And it's not good for them tactically. Because when you look that bad, well, then you can't complain about being a victim all the time and get your advantages from that, because everybody just like knows that it's just super hypocritical. It's too hypocritical for that tactic to be useful for them. So just on that note, on that piece of pragmatism, like, they want it to stop because they can't do their thing anymore. It's just not just the energy crisis that it's causing, or the financial crisis. It's like a grabbler crisis too. They can't do their thing anymore. Sorry, I'm making a joke out of it, but I mean, it's technically true. Right? And just threatening everybody with anti-Semitism or just massive censorship everywhere, it's not fixing things. Like, they can see too. They can see the numbers. They can see the result. They know it's not working. Like, sure, the government can sort of get away because of it, but it's not good for the Jews, the Israelis, and definitely not anybody who's like has aspirations of Zionism. Like, they're all really in a very bad light right now, and they know it. Okay, Israel theocracy. Yeah, I mean, sure. But no, they're not so unified. Like, Zionism is under severe pressure, and it's just looking really sick. And like the whole religious aspect, it just doesn't match. It just... like, people can feel like there's nothing divine about this. It's evil. They can feel it. So yeah, I mean, there are Israelis that want this shit to end. They do not want the conquest. Right? I mean, there's some of those Israelis that are like, yeah, they like to rob their neighbors of their land and confiscate it and make it their own and just bully the locals. That sort of thing. Yeah, that's one thing. But even those are like, they know that if everything just looks too bad, then they'll just have more actual armies that'll strike out at them, and that'll make them less safe. Just, no, you're wrong, Viscosity. You're just wrong. You're just wrong. You don't have to not want to make me angry. You're just wrong. Yeah, Zionism is not Judaism. Very much isn't. Yeah, I mean, do I need to show you the the anti-Zionist rabbis again? It's just not true, dude. You're just wrong. Give it up. You're just wrong. They're separate. And maybe when things were looking good, they were kind of like, yeah, sure, whatever. Right? Sorta unified. As in, like, they didn't object too much, the non-Zionists to the Zionists, and they were like, yeah, okay, fine. But now that things are really ugly, yeah, they are divided. They are. And the non-Zionist Jews are denouncing the Zionists. They are. Because they aren't the same. Right. Right. But yeah, anybody watching out there, like, I'm saying these things, I'm rolling out this position, not because I actually hate Jews. I really don't. I can tell you, I have a weird infatuation with Jews. It's weird. Like, because I can't, like, justify it. I must have some grabbler thing in me or whatever that makes me like them. I can't understand even why, really. I just have sympathy for them. And I just know that all of this is just looking so bad on Jews. And I just want everybody to get along. And what I'm rolling out is just what I see as like the cleanest solution. And it's not gonna be perfect. But I mean, the Greater Israel plan is just a giant disaster that could potentially like cause a frickin' dark age in the world. Like, just a long period of terrible, terrible feudalism. And megalomaniacal bureaucrats. And like, we don't want that. That's not good for anybody. Yeah, well, viscosity, you can keep bringing that up. The Jews. Yeah, the Jews don't all think the wars have to happen because of the Torah. Yeah, I mean, just because these things are written about to happen doesn't mean that they're like, yeah, do it. Right? You can't force God's hand. To want that is to basically oppose what Christ said. And it's bad. It's really that simple. You can't force anybody that tries to force the predictions to come true is of the devil. It is that basic. Like, it cannot be forced. And there are plenty of Jews out there that are wise enough to know that. But viscosity, I mean, I think I might know what the trouble is with you and how you're saying it. Because when you bump into these types of videos on either side, especially like the Zionists they really, when they roll out their ideas and share it, they literally pretend like they're the only ones, like their viewing point is the only one. And they really insist on that. They're very spiritually peer pressuring their views. But it's just not true. Not every Jew thinks like that. And there's a lot of like very well studied Jews that really read and follow the Torah, and they're like, no, this is all wrong. Everything about this is wrong. It's not even the original Israel. It's just everything is wrong. It's an abomination. So, but yeah, you'll never hear the Zionist viewpoint even share that exists. Yeah, they won't even give you any hint. They're just trying to hypnotize you in like, our view is the only real view. That's what they do. And you shouldn't buy into that. Right, so yeah, anyway, it's good to just put that down and share these views. It does make me nervous, though. It does always give me a feeling like, oh shit, I'm just making myself a target now. Because, I mean, these Zionist regime people, they do not tolerate any kind of resistance. And they always want to punish anybody who opposes them. And, like, I'm sharing this not because it's like, free Palestine. And I mean, yeah, technically free Palestine. It's just, I'm not hellbound on like, Israel has to be blown off the map. I'm not like that. I'm just like, just stop. Make it stop. Get back to peace. Peace is when things are good. Is when business works. It's when you can get your money. Right? That's what you're so good at, right? Israelis, Jews, money. Yeah, peacetime. Money. Yay. Flow. Rebuilding things. All the nations rebuild things. Money, investments. Like that's where you're actually good at. That's your thing. But you require peace for that. If everything just gets blown up, money value just crashes, nothing gets built, everybody's miserable, everybody's gonna look for a scapegoat. Guess who the scapegoat's gonna be? The Jews! And I mean, with decently good reason at this point, right? Because they are at the center of all this shit right now with Israel. So, I see the solution. Israel regime change, make it stop, get back to peace, and then the Jews can do the thing again that actually has some benefit to the world in a way, right? And everybody can be happy and get along. What more would you want? Besides vengeance, which is never a durable end goal. So, yeah. But at the same time, yeah, I mean, the problem is that who could make that happen? Trump could make it happen, and the US. But I mean, he seems to be completely bound to Netanyahu and the Greater Israel Conquest Plan, and in cost of everything else. So, He's not going to do it. And he's going to cause a irrevocable disaster for the US. That's going to potentially be the end of the nation. Like, let's just say at the end of this ride, and it could take a while, could take years, the US, you guys might not actually be able to really imagine this. You guys could literally lose your Second Amendment because of this. I mean, if you get conquered, boots on the ground on your land, yeah, you got a lot of guns. But if you don't have the troops anymore, what, you think everybody's literally just gonna step in their car with their guns and drive towards the invasion location and get themselves shot? I don't think so. People are gonna dig themselves into their houses and be very hard to conquer. But I mean, any invading force will never even need to do that. You see? And then in the end, the US will lose its Second Amendment. Yeah, sure, people will still have like secret stockpiles of weapons, but it won't be in the open legal anymore. It could take years or decades to win that back, if that will ever succeed. So I'm thinking long-term consequences. What Trump is doing now, the boots on the ground, and the slaughter that will come forth from that, it's almost a guarantee, will eventually, in a chain reaction, lead to a potential invasion of the US, and the US citizenry losing its Second Amendment. That's how dire this situation is. And the only way that I can see right now in how to prevent that from happening is if from the inside, I don't know if it's from in the Pentagon or from in the Republican Party or whoever, force Trump to step down, take the reins, change the course of the US government. And deal with frickin' Israeli sleeper cells, basically, which are like everywhere, and they will frickin' spring into action immediately. Right? You have to take that into account too. It's not going to be easy to take the reins back. It's not just Trump. It's the whole Israel apparatus. It's all integrated everywhere. They're in everything. You got to deal with that. But if they don't, it's like the end of the US, as we all know it, is almost a guarantee. So they got to make their move soon, before the slaughter, before those troops all die. Because if all those troops get killed, it will severely weaken the US's overall global position, their strategical ability to safeguard areas where they occupy. And other big parties that have been building up to this, which will include China, they will see it as an initiator. Like, yeah, this means we're now going to make our moves. Doesn't mean immediately, but they will then build up to it, because the numbers of troops that are going to be opposing them has literally gone down. Plus severe demoralization and financial issues on the US side, obviously, right? It'll be their sign to go. And that will then eventually lead to, well, what I told you about. And I mean, there's only one way to make it stop, and that is to make Trump stop. And just asking him to please stop is not working at all. So, yeah. Right. Right. Why can't we all just get along? Right, anyway, I hope everybody appreciates my case here that I put down. It is important. It is very relevant right now. And I hope people are taking note, or if they're not, that other people are doing this, are rolling out this view. Because there needs to be a response, and not quick. So I really hope there's enough people out there that could do something about this, understand the urgency of the situation. Right, so let me try to move on. I think I emphasized the urgency enough. Right, I'm just looking around. Right, anyway, hope everybody's appreciating the show. Don't forget to Rogan's it up if you are. And, yeah, share it. Mm-hmm. Idiots. So stupid. I mean, Trump threatening, "Oh, we're gonna destroy your Iran's infrastructure if you don't do what we want." Oh, really? Dude, Iran's gonna destroy your frickin' infrastructure. And they can do it, you dumb idiot. It doesn't work. This tactic doesn't work. Yeah, Iran can do a lot of damage, and you can't stop them from doing it. The more you threaten to destroy their things, they're going to destroy your things. It's really that simple. It doesn't work. Hey, hello, who's this? Oh, goody. Who is that? Oh. Alright. By the way, it looks like the trolls have like or mostly retracted. Yesterday's show had like only 67, 76 views. Really bizarre low. Didn't expect that to happen. So, but something has changed. No downvotes, none of that. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. So, I don't know, maybe it's just they've decided to boycott me or something. Fine. I mean, as long as just people still visit, like Viscosity here, and people that actually just genuinely care about what I talk about in my shows and the subjects or my insights, that they still visit me. Climate change called sounding pro oil now? What? Oh, right. Yeah, but I mean, Missy who there? In chat, hello, welcome to my chat. It was all nonsense anyway. I mean, climate change cultists they follow an ideology. There is no, like, getting what they truly want is a disaster for everybody. Right? And so now it's like happening because of circumstances, and then they just have to like, oh yeah, maybe it's not such a good idea. Yeah, it was never such a good idea. Never. And they realized like, yeah, you can't keep pushing it because then literally the food stops growing. Logistics grind to a halt. They understand that. I mean, I'm glad that they're not so insane that they're just being suicidal about it. But yeah, we need oil back. But there can also be like other solutions to it too. It all depends on the region. Here in the Netherlands, I would say natural gas. We have gas fields. We need to reopen them. We have old nuclear power plants that still work. They've been shut off, I think. They should be reopened. And if we need more, hydrogen aggregates, hydrogen generators, and like engines that can generate electricity, like that can be mass produced. Like it doesn't really require like very rare type of materials that are exotic to this nation. We can do that. And so there are solutions for this nation at least. But yeah, other regions may have a lot of trouble dealing with it. Like you can't use like hydrogen generators in nations where there's water shortages. Like they can't do that. Right? But the nations where there is like a ton of water, like river lands like the Netherlands, yeah, it's not going to be a problem. We can do that. We can get through this energy crisis. But other nations, probably like Spain, which doesn't have an abundance of water, it will have more trouble dealing with this. Nuclear is a psyop? Well, nuclear weapons is a psyop, but nuclear power is not a psyop. It's very simple. You have radioactive rocks, they emit heat. The heat warms water to a boiling point. The boiling point causes gas expansion, which pushes a turbine. Like, yeah, the heat heats water, drives a turbine, the turbine generates electricity. It's really that simple. It's not a psyop. That actually works. And it's very easy. Like, once you got it set up, it lasts basically forever. So yeah, nuclear energy is definitely not a psyop. It is a feasible system. And I mean, you could argue, oh, there is newer ways where you don't need that anymore. Well, potentially, yes. But it's really basic. It's like saying, well, you know, we don't need like combustion engines anymore, which are like an extension of steam engines originally, because there is like electric motors. Like, yeah, theoretically, but I mean, it is really easy, and the gasoline engines are very well developed and very clean now. So why give up on it until another technology has surpassed it in effectiveness? Right? But there's always the issues of material dependency. Like, any electric engine type device will require batteries. You require very specific resources for that. And not a lot of countries in the world actually have those resources in their ground. Wind energy is bad, yes. It's useless. It doesn't even produce the energy. Yeah, I know. You ever seen glowing magic heat rocks myself? Yeah. You think it's all a psyop? Okay, well, sure, but I mean, if you could explain then what's actually generating all that electricity at nuclear power plants, then that would be interesting. I don't think it's a psyop, Missy Who. Yeah, solar energy. I mean, solar energy is good as supplementary to like have a more energy independent stations, for example, if it's very remote. Well, then putting a cable between that and some bigger power station is not very effective. You could just fix it with a bunch of solar cells locally. So solar energy is not all bad, but it shouldn't be the foundational energy for mass energy distribution. That's terrible. And yes, there are chemical problems, chemical waste that come from using solar panels, especially on a vast scale. So it's not a foundational solution, but as a supplementary energy system, solar is not all bad. Wind energy is all bad. There's literally nothing good about it. It's not reliable, it's not durable, it's incredibly polluting, and it's terrible. It kills nature. It is just a disaster. Just coal. Okay. Yeah, coal is fine if you have clean coal plants. Coal is fine, but I mean, there's not coal everywhere though. But there is plenty of it around. Right? But I mean, the thing is, nuclear power plants don't require constant influx of materials. Coal power plants do. They require constant influx of coal. Constant. If the mining stops, gets obstructed, or logistics for the mining gets cut off, the coal power plant stops. Nuclear power plants basically don't need to stop for anything. That's the big difference. It's like no matter really what happens, unless the nuclear power plant itself gets like blown up or struck with a missile or something, it basically can just keep going no matter what happens in the world. That's what's so amazing about nuclear power plants. They're so incredibly independent. They can just produce that electricity no matter what happens because they're not dependent on any kind of constant influx of materials. See? Very useful. They lie about flat Earth. Yeah, sure. I mean, you think whatever you like. I'm very convinced nuclear power is real. And I mean, it makes energy. So they say, well, yeah, I mean, it's coming from somewhere, right? I don't see, I mean, this is gonna just enter territory as, like, I don't think water is actually hydrogen and oxygen. I mean, there's literally no logical reason to even go there, right? You could just say, I don't believe anything, like anything. I don't even believe my hand is right here. I don't even believe molecules are a thing. Yeah, you can disbelieve absolutely everything, but there's no freaking point to it, though. I'm not going there. Nuclear lies, dude. Who knows what actually happens? Well, there's no reason to doubt what is happening in that specific instance. Yeah, there is no logical reason to believe that nuclear power doesn't work. There's logical reason to believe that nuclear bombs don't actually work, but not nuclear power, because it's been used for 100 years. Or 80 or something. So, yeah, you can unbelieve it as much as you like. There's no freaking point to it. You can test yourself. Yeah. Well, why don't you go visit a nuclear power plant and just ask them to show you how it works? And then you can see the moving turbines yourself. You might even be able to feel the heat of the water if they allow you. Yeah? It's happening. Rods heat the water. The heated water drives the turbines. The turbines generate electricity through dynamos. I mean, that's it. It's very basic. It's not secret. Secret, come on. Yeah, you're just talking nonsense. I mean, that doesn't even mean anything. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna deal with this. You can be mega skeptical about absolutely everything. I don't see the point of doing that. Okay. Well, maybe if you didn't talk like this in public, then they would say, like, yeah, you know what? I think you are trustworthy enough to actually be shown the real deal. I don't know. I don't think that you ever did anything. You say you tried. I don't believe you. I literally do not believe you. I think you're an act. I think you're making shit up and you're trying to out-skeptic me in order to try to peer pressure steer me in some fashion, and I'm not buying it. And you are a troll. I'm quite certain you are a troll. Yeah, I know, it's fine. I'm very clear about my positions, about what is real and what isn't. And you can't shake me loose into everything is fake. It's not gonna work. Because I'm not a retard. I have standards. I actually have standards. You might not like those standards. You might not agree with them, but I have them though. And you're not just gonna, like, just move it loose, get him loose, and just get him to believe absolute bullshit so the flat earther can talk absolute bullshit again. Because that's such a relief for all the people out there. Like, oh my god, see, it was all nonsense after all because he's crazy, the crazy flat earther, so that we don't have to listen to anything he says. Yeah, I'm not falling for it, okay? I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, you're not going to lead me around.
You will never fool me, except for all those times you fooled me.
And I'm not going to modify the title. The title's going to be exactly what it is right now. And I'm not going to really draw into another subject all of a sudden. I mean, addressing nuclear power plants is just fine.
Smell my chair, Derpy.
Alright, and yeah, I hope everybody appreciates my show. Don't forget to Rogan's it up if you do. This will be bigger death of troops than World War II. I don't know the numbers in World War II. But I mean, it probably won't be as many troops unless Trump just keeps sending them in and more and more and more. the point is that losing a lot of troops and then not gaining any ground, not a single advantage that is gotten out of it, that part is the devastating part, right? That all those people die and there's no advantage that came out of it. That is the real devastation. Yeah, that's the problem. Is there's literally no win that can come out of this, and that is what makes it so devastating and demoralizing. Right, so yeah, will it be bigger than death of troops in World War II? Only if, when they're taken out, that Trump just sends new troops again and again and again. If he's gonna do that, yeah, then probably the amount of deaths will be bigger than World War II. But I mean, it's not really about numbers, it's about the way that it's happening. 400,000 World War II. Wow. Yeah, could happen. I don't know. How many troops does the US even have? I don't know. I don't know how much total.
I might be short, Karen B, but your unkempt bush is taller than Shaquille O'Neal.
was nice. Just catching a little bit of sun. Ground forces. Right, so it's gonna be the same amount. Yeah, well, I mean, Trump would be crazy if he just dumped all of them in there. It couldn't work. It's gonna lead to a disaster. Anyway, and like, even in theory, if for some crazy reason or whatever they would win, it would be such a Pyrrhic victory. They would have such devastating losses, basically, that that it'll weaken the US strategical ability to keep a grasp on everything, and then yeah, all this shit will still happen that I predicted. It's just not worth it. But anyway, thanks for looking that up, I guess. Right. I'm really glad that OBS is stable, Rumble's stable. Hope everybody appreciates the show. Don't forget to Rogan's it up if you are. Come on now. Right, I'm gonna take a 2-minute break. I'll be right back. is nice. What the? What the hell is that?
Paint me like a French girl.
Right. Did I know? Lots of Russians for 8.7 million Russians, 4 million Germans, 2 million Japanese, 400,000 UK. Yeah, lots of people. I know. A lot. In World War II. I know. It's crazy to think about those numbers, though. Jesus. Right. So yeah, sorry, I'm just now at the point where I'm just scrolling. There's no new thing that's showing up. I'm seeing very little about these supposed fireballs, meteors in Texas, though. There's not a lot of video of that. You'd think that there's tons of that just going around. have videos going around though about weird red things. Red lights moving. It's very strange. I don't know what to make it. Definitely not meteors. Right, yeah. See who, I mean, the CIA may have done it. It doesn't matter. The US is responsible. And they admitted to having done that. I mean, they said it was an accident. But I mean, does that really matter, though? You know? Right. Anyhow, I'm gonna round out the show. It's been fine though. It's good. Right. So, thanks everyone for coming. Hope you liked this show. If you did, then please don't forget to Rogan's it up. And if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through the gift card, PayPal, Patreon, Give, Send, Go. Links are all in the description box below, or send me super chat over to Rumble live chat when the show is live, or subscribe to my channel. Support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated. I can really use it. Right. I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 2592 on a Tuesday. I will be a little bit later than usual. Probably start at like 3 p.m. Amsterdam time. Around that time. Maybe even later. Or maybe I'll, yeah, not do a show. But it probably will. But it will be a bit later. So, hope to see you all then. Everybody have a great rest of this Monday. And until the next video, keep it flat.